Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing great. And let's start with today's story titled, My Son Stole a Rare Toy from My Brother. My brother is refusing to take it back and is threatening to get the police involved. What should I do? Right now, my brother is threatening to sue me for my son taking a figure from his collection and getting the police involved. Here's the story. Last week, my brother invited me and my family over for dinner. While we were there, my son asked to see my brother's collection of toys and figures. My brother has spent a good deal of money on his collection, and from what I know, it's one of his biggest hobbies. Well, after dinner, we left and everything seemed normal. Well, until yesterday. My brother called me up furiously and told me my little shit stole something from his collection, and I needed to return it immediately. I honestly was upset at this, but if my son had taken something that was wrong, especially if it was from my own brother. It turns out that my son slipped away during dinner and took a Boba Fett figure from his collection. He confirmed it because he has footage from his porch camera of him taking it out to our car. I was furious and took it from him. Here's the problem, though. After I confirmed with my brother it was his, I found out that my son had removed it from its packaging. Apparently, the figure is worth almost $2,000 in its package and almost nothing out of it. So my brother broke down over the phone and refused to take it back before hanging up. Well, he just called me again today and said he wanted me to pay for a replacement immediately, or he will get the police involved and sue me. I told him I would help pay for one, but not fully, to which he said, not good enough, and hung up. Honestly, what are my options here? I can't afford to pay him back right now. If he does go to the police, will my son get arrested? He's only 15. It was very wrong of him to do, but I think my brother is overreacting. What can I expect if he does take me to court or call the police? I was thinking his son was 5 or 6. He's 15. He knows what is wrong and right. Indeed, he is a little shite. And now to the update. So I want to talk about something first before I get into the update. To give some context for this, me and my brother have never had a good relationship. We have never seen eye to eye, and after our father's death, he cut contact with me for a good amount of time. We're just too different in some senses. He's a single nerdy guy who has no aspirations for family, while I'm the exact opposite. In these past few years, we've tried to fix this. Work as adults to bring what little family we have back together. During our time apart, he began collecting old nerdy things, and I won't lie, I never understood the appeal. It is his life, though, and he can do what he wants. So when my son stole and damaged his property, I didn't see how it was valuable to him and discounted it. So when he asked for $2,000 to fix it, I really didn't feel like it was worth it. Was this wrong of me? Maybe. I don't feel bad about defending my son. I only feel bad that I discounted my brother in the process. Sorry about that. Like I said, I don't want sympathy. So after all was said and done, my family had pretty much been thrown into chaos. I had no idea what I was going to do, and after talking with my wife, we decided we would take many of your advice and have my son pay him back. We collected all the non-essentials he had and planned to sell them to raise funds. During this time, I got back into contact with my brother and wanted to talk this out to make sure this did not end badly. I offered to pay in full. Also, some people in the comments said that the figure was worth less, so I asked him. He had it professionally valued a few months ago when he bought it, and it was worth a total of $2,200. My brother said he plans to not sue us. His renter's insurance apparently is willing to pay him the value he has listed, but he would need to file a police report to get it. At first, we agreed not to go that route and simply pay him the value of it, or one for a replacement if he could get it cheaper. This was the plan until last night. During the process of taking his things away, my wife found a conversation he had with a friend he has over the internet. It turns out my son stole the figure to sell. He had Googled it while we were at my brother's house and found out how much it was worth, and bragged to a friend that he was going to sell it at a pawn shop. He didn't realize that taking it out of the package would ruin it, so he ripped it out to hide in the car better. Suffice to say, I am not happy about this. I won't elaborate on this very much more, but me and my wife have decided that what is best for all of us is that we let him face the consequences of this. My brother is going to file a police report and collect money from insurance. Some may say this is a bit harsh, but honestly, I think this might be for the best in the end. The way my son actively stole from family to make a profit worries me, and I believe the only option that I can live with myself is this. I will stand by my son till the need, but he needs to learn now before he is an adult. So thank you all for the advice. The support and hate are what I needed as a true wake-up call. Good. Also make him get a job and pay for it. Next, the second story. My dad disowned my sister and he is dying. How do I convince her to let him go? Backstory. My family used to be really close, but that changed in 2003 when my dad, 55 male, discovered that my mom, 54 female, was having an affair with John, 54 male, my dad's childhood best friend. He was basically his brother back then, and he was my dad's best man in his wedding with mom. He begged her to stay and work things out, but my mom ended up leaving him for John, and eventually they got a divorce, and my mom ended up marrying John 5 months later. My twin sister Sarah, 27 female, was always the stereotypical daddy's girl. Dad spoiled her a bit more than the rest of us, and she was basically his shadow back then. And that's why it was really surprising to us that Sarah chose to stay with our mom after the divorce. Back then, me, 27 male, and her were the only ones to still live with our parents. We have other 4 brothers. I choose to stay with dad, and Sarah choose to live with mom, and in the weekends, she come to stay with me and dad. I choose to stay with dad, and I occasionally went to mom house. To say that the divorce and my sister choosing to stay with mom effed up my dad is an understatement. He tried to act like he was okay in front of us, but every single weekday for the year following the divorce, I could hear him cry himself to sleep. After the divorce, the relationship between Sarah and dad didn't change that much. He started to spoil her a bit more than the usual, and still remained the usual super dad, showing up in every parent-teacher conference, ballet recital, and soccer match, and being the most present dad possible. Things started to change when she suddenly changed her mind about med school. Our dad is a surgeon. And she always said that she wanted to follow his steps, but Mom and John ended up pressuring her to change her career path to become a lawyer. Mom and John are both lawyers. During her studies, John started mentoring her, and they became really close. After she finished her education, he got her a job at his law firm. On to the issue. In 2017, Sarah got married. My dad was absolutely thrilled about her wedding. He gave Sarah a blank check for her dream wedding. To be fair, he did this to all of us. He really liked weddings. But in Sarah's case, he was really excited because she is his only daughter. And I always remembered him talking about walking her down the aisle, like every wedding that we went to. He always said to her that he couldn't wait for the day to walk his little girl down the aisle. One day before the wedding, Sarah drops the bomb that Dad and John will be walking her down the aisle together. Well, Dad is the most non-confrontational person to walk on this earth, and she expected him to just suck it up. He didn't do that. They got into a huge fight, first time I see him get angry. And in the end, he didn't attend the wedding, and John ended up walking Sarah down the aisle. The fallout was massive. After the wedding, Dad and his side of our family basically disowned her, and their relationship became non-existent. She tried to reach out after a while and make amends several times, but he simply didn't want to talk or hear about her. We expected him to turn around when she gave birth in 2018, but he doesn't even want to meet her kids. Earlier this year, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and unfortunately the treatment didn't work, and he is terminal. Even with that, he still doesn't want to see her again, and she doesn't understand that. I'm very close to my dad, and these last few weeks have been really difficult for me. How do I convince her to let him go? TLDR. Dad disowned sister. Sister is not accepting that. Dad is now dying. Still doesn't want to see her. How can I help her? What did she expect after all the repeated insults? The dad didn't disown the daughter. The daughter disowned the father through her own choices. And now to the update. Some people asked for an update. Unfortunately, life isn't all about happy endings. This is a sad ending. A week after I posted the original post, my dad started getting worse. His health started declining really fast. We lost him exactly 1 month ago. It wasn't pretty. I never thought it would be, but I never thought it would be that heartbreaking. He was in a lot of pain. He'd been through so much in these last months. As heartbreaking as it was to us, he deserved to rest. He was tired. In the end, he was lucid enough to say his goodbyes to me and my older brothers. Hearing him saying what he said to me was one of the most painful and beautiful moments of my life. His words to me meant a lot. I won't say exactly what he said because I believe that it's just too personal. He said goodbye to my daughters, 11-month and 2-year-old. It was just like when I was a kid. He gave them a kiss on the forehead, told them to be good girls, and said that he loved them. It was something I won't ever forget, and it hurts like hell that they are so young to understand what happened. They still ask about Grandpa, and every time I try to explain to them that he isn't coming back, they don't seem to understand that, and how can I blame them? I'm only 27 years old. I honestly don't get it. I was supposed to get a lot more years with my dad. It doesn't seem fair at all. The worst part was my twin sister Sarah. Dad died without speaking to her. I tried to talk to him about her, but he wasn't interested in speaking with her. She started getting more desperate and, suddenly, he died. It was expected, but she was in denial. His funeral was beautiful. A lot of people shared their stories about him. It was nice. Sarah saw Dad for the first time since the night before her wedding. She didn't recognize him. He was very skinny. Dad was always a bit overweight, the famous dad bod, but he had lost a lot of weight from cancer. She cried a lot during the whole funeral. Mom and John tried to show up at the ceremony, and my uncles were forced to kick them out of the funeral. Good effing riddance. Dad's will went as expected as it could. Dad's family came from old money, petrochemicals. So he always had a lot of money. He left a little bit of money and properties divided equally to all his kids, including Sarah. He left a trust fund, which was a lot of money, for all his grandkids, including Sarah kids, which he never met. It was honestly expected. My dad never really cared about money that much. He just wanted us to be comfortable and assure that his grandkids all had something to support them. The tricky part was the personal things. He left a really big letter to all of us, except Sarah. It was really personal stuff. In my letter, he spoke to me about our story, about my childhood. It was really nice. I must have read the letter like 100 times and I cried every single time. One of Dad's favorite hobbies was photography. He was quite an enthusiast. And the subject of his photos was pretty much our family. When he and Mom were together, later it turned out to be just me and my siblings. As a result of this, we had a lot of pictures from us growing up. He gave each of us a photo album, and behind each photo he wrote something, where it has taken in a few words. I was honestly very surprised with this. He must have done this long before he died. It was a very thoughtful goodbye gift, something that was very typical of Dad. Sarah didn't get a letter, and her album didn't have anything written behind her photos, and when she found out about this, she had a mental breakdown. The regret was eating her alive. Still is. She was admitted to a hospital and spent an entire week there. She's doing a bit better now, getting a little better every day. Her husband and I are really confident in her recovery. She is sleeping and eating almost normally now. She still starts to cry randomly multiple times on a daily basis, but it's getting better. At least that's what I'm telling to myself. Which brings us to last week. My wife and I discovered that we are expecting again. It wasn't planned or anything like that. My wife switched birth control last month and she spends a week without taking the pill. It is still very early in her pregnancy, so we haven't told anyone yet. The thing is that I'm really angry. I'm angry that my future kid is not going to be able to meet Dad. I'm effing pissed, honestly. It doesn't seem fair at all. I'm angry and I'm scared. My dad was supposed to guide me in the whole parenthood process. He was teaching me a lot of us with my daughters. I'm effing scared of doing this without him. I'm scared of not being a good father like he was to me because my kids deserve that. This is it, folks. This whole situation could be a lot better. I play the what if scenario in my head every day. Unfortunately, it doesn't change anything. This is honestly a bitter ending. Doesn't seem fair at all, but that's the thing about life. It's actually never fair. I want to thank everyone who gave me advice and to everyone who reached out and offered their support in the chat. It meant a lot to me. At least he included her in his will. She should feel guilty the way she treated her father. And the third story, am I the a-hole for taking my niece to court over a coat? I, 28 female, have a niece, 16 female. She is my only sister's only child. 2 years ago, I married a very wealthy man, 34 male. And because of the pandemic, last Christmas was my first with my in-laws. My mother-in-law gifted me a coat that is worth more than 20 grand. I saw her wearing it, asked her where she bought it, and she said that it will be my Christmas gift from her. I didn't know how much it was. I knew it was expensive, but I thought maybe 3,000 at most. I was visiting my sister last January when my niece saw it. She Googled the brand and showed me how much it really was. I won't lie, I didn't wear it after that because I was afraid of ruining it. Last week I wore it while visiting my sister. While I was putting it back on to leave, I felt something go splat on my back. Then my niece started cackling and the smell of paint hit me. I was so pissed off while she was not apologetic at all. Her mom screamed at her and said she was grounded. Then she said she will pay for the dry cleaning. While I was in my car, still in shock, I got an alert that my niece posted a reel. It was of her doing a prank on me and she said, "I'm going to hit my aunt's $20,000 coat with a paint-filled balloon to see how she reacts." I saved it on my phone, sent it to her mom and told her that a week's grounding is not enough. She did not reply, but I saw that my niece took it down. It got less than 5 views by then. Then the next day I found out my coat cannot be saved, so I called my sister and told her that her daughter has to pay it back. Well, we got into an argument and she said that they will not be paying for it, and if I wanted a new one, I should get my husband to buy it for me. I think that they should pay for it. They can afford to, in my opinion. They should sell my niece's car and pay me back my money. We did not reach an agreement, so I told her that I will be suing, and reminded her that I have video evidence that her daughter did it on purpose for online clout and knew exactly how expensive it was. People in my life are not objective at all. I have some calling me an a-hole. So am I the a-hole? Sorry for not making it clearer, but my coat was bought new, just identical to my mother-in-law's. And the update. So here is a quick update since the situation has been resolved. When my husband got home, I told him what happened and showed him the video. He asked if I spoke with my brother-in-law and I said no. All my conversations were with my sister. He said that he will take care of it. Now, a disclaimer, I understand nothing when it comes to insurance claims, and this is what my husband told me. My husband talked with my brother-in-law, told him exactly what happened, and showed him the prank video. Then he told him that the coat was insured. We will be filing a claim and submitting the video, and we might have to file charges for the claim. He assured him that we would be dropping the charges. We do not want to send niece to jail. Then he told him that one of two things might happen. After our insurance pays us, they will come after them. If their insurance pays, their premium will skyrocket. If it doesn't, we will sue them and might get a lien on their house. My brother-in-law asked if there was a way he could pay us without involving insurance. My husband told him that that was what we wanted at first, but that my sister insisted that they will not be paying us back. Apparently, my brother-in-law was not in the know, and he was very pissed off at what my niece did and by my sister's response. So they came to this solution. My niece's car will be sold, and if it doesn't fetch the whole compensation money, she will have to get a job and pay me the whole check until it is paid off. Also, she is grounded for the rest of the school year. I am thankful for the people who encouraged me to talk with my husband. Her niece really thought she'd ignore it just because her husband is rich. Glad she put her foot down. That brat needs to face the consequences of her actions. And that's it for today. Dear viewers, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss out. See you next time. Bye-bye.